Having newborn kits in rabbit tractors. Is it a success or utter failure? Today I'm going to tell you as we go through our pros and cons of having your breeding does in rabbit tractors. Now I know from experience because I have some of mine in rabbit tractors and I have some in a colony setting. I am Megan from Living the Height Life and I'm glad that you are here with me today. My family are off-grid homesteaders in South Carolina and I love to teach people about our life and our way of raising rabbits for meat. So before we really get into this video, I want you to comment down below and let me know, do you have meat rabbits? And if you do, how you currently house them, if you have them in tractors, or if you're thinking about having them in tractors. Give us a general idea of what your rabbitry is like or you hope it to be like in the future. And while you're at telling us what it's like, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Let's get into raising our breeding does in rabbit tractors, what we like about it, what we don't like about it, and all of the gory details. So as you may be able to guess, one of the pros is moving them to fresh ground daily or every other day, depending on your style, how much room you have in your tractor, how many rabbits are in your tractor. Every time you move them, they get a new thing in their diet, or they get something that you're not like scooping out of a feed bucket or whatever in their diet. It's fresh feed and it's good for them. Fresh foods being in their diet helps to boost their nutrient intake. It helps to give them a variety in their diet. It helps wear down their teeth because they are naturally meant to chew on those foods, and pellets just don't have that same wearing action as fresh foods do. All of the fresh foods have different nutrients and minerals within them, and those help to work together to really promote a healthy immune system, which you obviously want in your breeding doe. Also, moving them daily helps reduce your cleanup time because it's all left on the ground, and it helps to put nutrition back into your soil. So as you see different parts of our grass and stuff behind us, just know this was all trees, just like that. We have cleared this land ourselves. It has been vacant for many, many, many years with nothing but pines growing on it, sucking up its nutrients, and there's not much here to put nutrients back into it. But I threw down some grass seed. It come up and it looked a little okay, a little sparse, but everywhere that our rabbit tractors have moved through are big, beautiful green areas of grass, and that grass is going to go to feed our rabbits. So it's working in a cycle to promote soil health, to promote rabbit health. It is fantastic how it all works together. Also, with moving your rabbits every single day and getting them onto new dirt, you are giving them the exposure to environmental pathogens from an early age. This sounds a little scary, and it can be, but it also helps to build up that rabbit's immune system so it can fight those pathogens off in the future. A rabbit who lives in a sterile bubble and then all of a sudden is exposed to pathogens is going to come down very hard from those pathogens because their immune system has never encountered those before, and it takes it down like that. You'll have a dead rabbit very quickly. So we promote our rabbits' health by having them together, by having them on the ground. They are exposed from pathogens, they learn how to fight it off, and that disease resistance is bred into our rabbits. One of the other pros of having your kits in rabbit tractors are that they are super easy to do health checks on and to check up on them. So when our kits are in rabbit tractors, we have 5-gallon nest burrows is what I call them. Nest boxes really is what they are, but they're more like burrows. They're made out of 5-gallon buckets. I can take that whole thing out, set it on top of the rabbit tractor, do all of my health checks on all of the kits, and put them back inside of the tractor. And Mom doesn't have to be super stressed. I'm not in there messing around with her. I can let her have a calm moment to herself while I take care of the kits, and then she can go check on them, make sure they're okay, I didn't hurt them, and we're all good to go. I use this time to handle all of our kits. I like to handle all of them so they get used to us. They're used to us touching them. Mama's used to our scent being on them so it doesn't stress her out. I also weight check them. I weight check my kits at birth and then weekly until I hit 8 weeks. So today I will be weight checking these 1-week-old little kits. They now have fur on them. Yes, they're cute. Let's see how much they weigh. Stay still, baby. So this one weighs 83 grams, which is 2.9 ounces. So once my health check is complete, I move my stuff. And our babies get back in. So Mama has checked her babies. She knows that they're safe. They're back where they belong. And she's good to go. Hey, pretty girl. You're a good mama. So she got her some fresh grass to eat. I got to check on the babies. We are all good here. We're about to get into the cons of raising kits in a rabbit tractor, keeping your breeding does in a rabbit tractor. Before we do, I just want to let you know, stay tuned to the end of the con list. I will tell you a tragic story that happened to us raising kits in a tractor so that you know all the good and the bad of what it's like to house your breeding does in a rabbit tractor. So our first con with housing our breeder does in rabbit tractors and raising newborn kits in those tractors is you have to move the nest box out of the tractor before you move it. And of course, find a way for your kits not to get out of the nest box while you move your tractor. It's a big safety issue. It's a little bit of an inconvenience, but it's not horrible. It's just something you have to get used to doing until your kits are older. One reason you have to do this is because your kits can get squished in between your slats. They can fall out of your slats if you lift the tractor to move it, which is my preferred way of doing it. And when they're really little bitty kits, we're talking like a week old or younger, even 2 weeks old and younger, you really have to stop and check the bottom of your tractor before you move it. Make sure you have no kits in the bottom of your tractor before you move it, or you will smush those kits. Also, when you move your tractor, sometimes your ground's not all the way like even. It can kind of tilt a little bit. You know, it's not such a big deal when you have a doe in there because she's bigger, but your kits can slide through those slats and try to escape. They can get squished. It's a hot mess. So you really have to make sure where you move them when they have kits in there, especially if they're younger than 4 weeks, is that you have them on a level surface so that there's minimal room for them to escape. Now, I know we talked about them getting pathogens early on and being able to build that immune system, but one thing you don't want them to catch early on are parasites. Wild rabbits and stuff can bring in different kind of parasites that are rabbit specific, and you moving your rabbits on area that those wild rabbits has frequented can give them access to those parasites, which you don't want. However, it can get better as they get older, but as newborns, especially those firstly getting out on the ground, it can be a bit of an issue. So just a thing to keep in mind. So I promised you a story of our tragic results of raising kits in a rabbit tractor. And I don't know if you noticed, but Manali only has 3 kits in her tractor. She originally had 8. 1 was stillborn. We had 7 live kits that made it almost to 3 weeks old. And then tragedy happened. I come out one day and there were 4 dead kits in the tractor. 2 of which had slipped, like were like trying to get out of the tractor, and because it was on uneven ground, and they had slid in between the tractor and the dirt and gotten stuck. 2 of the other ones kind of looked like they were trying to follow in that path and had gotten themselves wedged down between the slats. And it was a cold night. I guess they didn't get back up or what, and they just got too cold. So we lost 4 kits in our tractors. Those are the first kits we've ever lost to any kind of incidents like this, and it just is devastating. I was so heartbroken to find those 4 dead kits. They were such healthy kits. To have that loss, it blew my mind. Like we've been raising in tractors since we started our rabbitry, and those are the only kits we've had have that happen to. But it's something I am more aware of now, and making sure my tractors are on even ground. So please, if you're going to keep your breeder does in tractors and they have kits in those tractors, make sure they are on level ground. Hi, baby.
These ones fell, Mama.
Hi, baby.
Aw.
That was sweet of you. Do you like the babies? Do you like the babies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my best friend.
So in all honesty, tractors are not my favorite way to house our breeding does and to raise our newborn kits, and having those 4 that died from the accident in the tractor here recently really cemented that home to me. Yes, we are going to continue to raise breeder does in our tractors, raise newborn kits in our tractors, just because I'm still expanding my rabbitry. I'm hoping to build a second colony one day. But until then, I have to deal with the tractors. It's a great way to build your rabbitry without having to really put in a whole lot of time, effort, and money into building a huge colony or buying a ton of cages. And it's a great way to do it. But there are some pros and cons that go along with that, and that is just something you have to accept and be aware of before you get started on this journey. So let our experiences guide you into choosing if you want to house your breeder does in a rabbit tractor and raise your kits in a tractor or not. Now, all of our grow outs go into tractors at 8 weeks old regardless, unless they are breeder does that we are holding back to keep in the colony, and then they remain in the colony until we decide if we are going to keep them as breeders or not. All of our other kits, especially all of our males, go into tractors, and that is where they stay until butcher date from 8 weeks old, whether they were born in a colony or born in a tractor. So tractors will never be phased out on our homestead, but these are just the pros and cons of having your breeder does in tractors and raising newborn kits in tractors. So if you're wanting to raise rabbits for meat, or you're just thinking about raising rabbits for meat, make sure you check out our meat rabbit playlist and you check out this meat rabbit video. That's all I have for you today, friends. So until next time, bye. I will see you later.